my name is Jasmine Brooks. I'm 33 years old, Des Moines native, and I actually do a host of things. Amongst them, I'm executive director for 6th Avenue Corridor here in Des Moines, and then I'm also the CEO of Brooks Homes. 6th Avenue Corridor Executive Director is a new role for me. I just stepped into it this month, but it really ties together all of what I would call my life's work. So it ties together community work, social justice work, and also revitalization, development, and building. So it ties in all of those things, and I get to really work in the community that raised me. So I really couldn't pass up the opportunity when it came along. And then Brooks Homes is actually what my husband and I started back in 2016. It's a home building company, and we mainly service Des Moines metro and suburbs. So it's new residential construction, and that's pretty much what we do there. I think the biggest piece of advice I would give my younger self would be to be patient, understand that success and growth and progression is not a linear path. It's really kind of that drawing that you see all over the internet where there's zigzags and ups and downs and peaks and valleys. It's not a linear thing where it's straight up all of the time. So you're going to have times in your life when it seems like you're losing more than you're winning, but just to remember that you have to trust the process. Really, the journey in and of itself is comprised of multiple lessons that you have to learn. You have to learn to be patient. You have to learn to build your character. And even though we have a passion for things, and even though we may even have skill for those things, your character can keep you out of rooms that you're meant to be in. And so if a door and an opportunity opens for you, your character has to be the thing that keeps you there. And so I think being very intentional in your character growth and development, outside of a boardroom, outside of a business, outside of schooling and education, your character is much more than that. So I think that's one thing that I've really learned. What happens inside of your household contributes to who you are more than the outside world a lot of times. And so for me, my mom and my dad were really very big kind of pieces of who I am today. So the way that, like you said, the way that I think, the way that I process things, the way that I perceive the world and the things around me has really been developed in me my entire life from my parents. My siblings have also contributed to how I see things, how I view the world, how I deal with problems, and then of course my husband and my children. So there are a lot of people in the business arena and in real estate specifically who have impacted me by allowing me to be in those spaces and places. But when I think more characteristically and intrinsically who I am and how I am, I would really accredit that to my immediate family. What do I plan on bringing to the stage for Iowa Juneteenth in 2024? I would say authenticity. Because coming from a community where you don't often see people that look like you in positions of power, in positions of influence, or decision makers, to me, it's very important that I am that representation, not only for my kids, my nieces, my nephews, but for others in the community, because it really does take a village to come from the places that we come from and go through the things that we go through, and to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes that can just be you showing up, doing your job. And so I like to work, live, and play in communities that look like me, so that at some point I can just be my authentic self, but be a representation and show kids that you can do whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's in your community or outside of your community. So I hope to bring that to all of those who come. Hi guys, I'm Jasmine Brooks, and I would love to have you come out to Neighbors Day on June 15th at Western Gateway Park. See you there.